Hello, this is Tandem Elephant, and this is my quick review of Rise of the Guardians. I just saw it today, and I have to say, overall, it's a good movie. It's not a masterpiece by any means. It has its problems, but it's not bad as a kids movie. It's not even bad as a family movie. It just has a few little problems that do kind of get in the way a little bit. First off, let's talk about the good stuff. The animation is really great. It's just as good as Pixar, if not better than what Pixar is doing right now. There's a lot of good jokes, but the problem is, it's one of those movies that use all of its good material in the trailer, so there's no real laughs in the theater. So that's kind of a problem. There are a few funny jokes, and there are a lot of really shocking moments in the movie. Well, I wouldn't say shocking. Maybe if you're 10, if it's shocking. At one point, one of the characters dies, and I was very tempted to literally just take out my phone, turn it on in the movie theater, just to see how long it would take for that character to undie. Because let's face it, no one stays dead. And of course, he didn't stay dead, but let's talk about the characters. Jack Frost, he's played by Chris Pines. I have not seen Unstoppable. I have not seen the new Star Trek movie where he plays Kirk, I believe. Let's see, well, I've not seen Unstoppable. I've not seen that type of stuff. I'm not familiar with him, but I'd say he's okay. He's okay as a voice actor. He certainly doesn't sound like a celebrity voice behind a microphone. He just sounds like Jack Frost. He probably could have gotten someone better, but there's only one real complaint I have for him, and it's this. He sounds like he's in his late 20s, early 30s, and Jack Frost looks about 19. And that can get really, really distracting. Then we got a Russian Santa, played by Alec Baldwin. This is the only character I actually have a problem with. Someone please explain to me what the thought process behind that was. He doesn't really do much. He just spouts cliches and is, comic relief. And let me tell you right now, there is no way to describe with words how surreal it is to hear Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, play the Easter Bunny. And at one point, they actually do acknowledge his Australian accent, which I actually think is really funny. Isla Fisher, as the Tooth Fairy, she's funny too. The Sandman doesn't talk. He just communicates with sand images that he makes over his head. And then we got Jude Law as Pitch, a.k.a. the Boogeyman. He's hamming it up. He's just hamming it up. I'd say that there isn't really that much new when it comes to really good characters. Jack Frost is basically pretty much just, the rebel without a cause. He's basically just the narrator from Some Nights. This is the movie that should have gotten that, not Wreck-It Ralph. The rest of the characters, they're okay. It can get really, really cheesy at times. I mean, corny on top of cheesy on top of cliched. I can only think of a handful of times where, when presented with a choice, they did not go with the corny and cliched route. But it's also very charming in its cheesy preachiness. It's pretty much just a Christmas movie. It's believe. That's pretty much all the movie is. Just believe. Believe in the Guardians. There are a lot of really funny moments. There's a lot of very quiet moments. There's a lot of very charming moments. This movie is made up of a lot of really good moments. I will give it that. I really like Jack Frost, the way he interacts with other people. That's funny. However, there are a lot of other things I don't like. For example, we have yet another Minion ripoff. Yeah, I don't like the legacy the Minions from Despicable Me have left off, because every time there's a 3D animated film, there's another one. There's just another type of Minions, and this time it's Santa's elves. But thankfully, they don't have that much of a presence in the movie. Thank God. There are a lot of plot threads that just don't really go explained. But it is kind of hit or miss on how well that works. For example, the character that comes back to life, we're never explained how he comes back to life. Not once throughout the rest of the movie. And let me tell you, the last few minutes feel like they take too long. this movie kind of ends too slow. We are never told once why it is that character came back to life. Never. However, there's another time when it kind of does work. For example, for some reason, the person who makes all of these Guardians, the person who leads them, is not one of the Guardians. It's something called the Man in the Moon. He's the one that made Jack Frost after who he was in real life dies. Actually, I think that's what happened with all of them. They're really good people, but they die, so the Man in the Moon turns them into Guardians. We're never explained exactly what this Man in the Moon is. It's heavily hinted that it's God, but this is a kid's movie. All I can really do is just hint at something religious. We're never really told who the Man in the Moon is, but I actually think that's better than telling us right out that it's something, because that kind of leaves you thinking about the movie in a positive way once you leave the theaters, which I do enjoy. Overall, this is a very, very, once again, cliched movie, but it's also really fun to watch. I actually would recommend it for something to buy over the holiday season and give your kids, because it's a good movie. On a scale of 1 to 10, I guess I would rate it maybe a 7.5. I'd say about there. Well, happy holidays. Thanks for watching.